Hello y'all, I found out there is a website on the internet that lets you set up custom Hunger Games simulations. For reference, the Hunger Games is something from a novel series of the same name where 24 participants fight each other to the death in an arena. With that in mind, I have put together 24 leaders from Hearts of Iron 4 major power countries, which will result in something exciting for sure. Besides the USA, UK, Germany, Japan, Italy, France, and the USSR being represented, I also made sure 6 participants of each of the 4 ideologies in Hoi 4 are taking part. Fascists will fight communists, Republicans will fight monarchs, and of course, due to how this works, individuals of the same ideology will clash with one another. With that introduction out of the way, let's get things started. Who do you think will win? Tell me in the comments of this video now. Anyway, the game has begun, and just for the sake of knowing what it is, the cornucopia is where all the players are located when the Hunger Games commences. So, as the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds, Wilhelm Pieck runs away from the cornucopia, Napoleon VI runs away from the cornucopia, Franklin Delano Roosevelt runs away from the cornucopia, Leon Trotsky runs away from the cornucopia, Douglas MacArthur runs away from the cornucopia, Jacques Deroux runs away from the cornucopia, Ozarmazo runs away from the cornucopia, Konrad Adenauer, oh, something interesting has happened. Something interesting has occurred. Hirohito severely injures Palmiro Togliatti, I can't pronounce that right, but he put him out of his misery, so that's one guy down. Victor Emmanuel III gathers as much food as he can. Edward VIII runs away from the cornucopia. Ferruccio Party runs away from the cornucopia. Hold on a second. Oh, Adolf Hitler found a bag full of explosives. I'm sure that's not going to end well. Tatsu Katayama grabs a shovel. Konstantin Radovsky runs away from the cornucopia. Let's see here. Besides running away from the cornucopia, Wallace I, Joseph Stalin, and Benito Mussolini start fighting, but Joseph Stalin runs away as Wallace I kills Benito Mussolini. So Mussolini is dead, and Kaiuchi Tokada strangles Earl Browder with a rope. So we have 3 people dead so far. Day 1, Tatsu Katayama, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Kaiuchi Tokada, Wilhelm Pieck, and Victor Emmanuel III hunt for other tributes. Jacques Deroux collects fruit from a tree. He collected fruit from a tree. Konstantin Radovsky makes a slingshot. Charles de Gaulle explores the arena. Adolf Hitler diverts Hirohito's attention and runs away. Leon Trotsky chases Edward VIII. Napoleon VI explores the arena. Konrad Adenauer steals from Douglas MacArthur while he isn't looking. Winston Churchill, Joseph Stalin, Wallace I, and Oswald Mosley hunt for other tributes. Ferruccio Party begs for Wilhelm II to kill him. So Ferruccio Party, the Italian democratic leader from Hoi 4, begged for Wilhelm II to kill him. Wilhelm II was nice, so when he refused, which is going to keep Ferruccio Party alive. The fallen tributes thus far are Palmiro Togliatti, Benito Mussolini, and Earl Browder. So we have 2 communists and 1 fascist down. Night 1. Leon Trotsky, Wilhelm II, and Ferruccio Party sleep in shifts. Wallace I sees a fire but stays hidden. Douglas MacArthur, Jacques Deroux, Konstantin Radovsky, and Wilhelm Pieck, 3 fascists and 1 communist, tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Kaiichi Tokoda severely injures Oswald Mosley and leaves him to die. Joseph Stalin destroys Winston Churchill's supplies. While he is asleep, Victor Emmanuel III sets up a camp for the night. Franklin Delano Roosevelt passes out from exhaustion. Konrad Adenauer climbs a tree to rest. Tatsu Katayama kills Adolf Hitler with a sickle. So we have both Benito Mussolini and Hitler dead now. So we had the Japanese communists killed Mosley, and the Japanese democratic leader of Hoi 4 killed Adolf Hitler. Edward VIII receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Hirohito and Napoleon VI huddle for warmth, so they're trying to keep warm. And Charles de Gaulle is awoken by nightmares. Day 2. Leon Trotsky scares Konstantin Radovsky off. Ferruccio Party, Edward VIII, Victor Emmanuel III, and Wallace I raid Wilhelm Pieck's camp while he is hunting. Charles de Gaulle receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Joseph Stalin, Wilhelm II, Konrad Adenauer, Winston Churchill, and Douglas MacArthur hunt for other tributes. Franklin Delano Roosevelt explores the arena. Napoleon VI receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Hirohito diverts Kaiuchi Takoda's attention and runs away. Tatsu Katayama makes a slingshot, and Jacques Darrow receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. So it seems we have no deaths for day 2. Fallen tributes to Oswald Mosley and Adolf Hitler are dead. So I believe we're now at 3 fascists not being alive and 2 communists, which means there are 19 participants left in the Holy 4 Hunger Games. Night 2, Konrad Adenauer begs for Hirohito to kill him. He refuses, keeping Konrad Adenauer alive. Wilhelm Pieck sees a fire but stays hidden. Wilhelm II set an explosive off, killing Konstantin Rodopsky, Jacques Darrow, Kaiuchi Takoda, and Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So that's the French fascists down, the Russian fascists down, the Japanese communists down, and the guy we had selected as the American Democratic leader. So Wilhelm II just got 4 kills there. And then Tatsu Katayama, Douglas MacArthur, Edward VIII, and Ferruccio Parri tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Victor Emmanuel III goes to sleep. Wallace I receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Winston Churchill sets an explosive off. There's a lot of explosives going on tonight. And he killed Joseph Stalin and Napoleon VI. So Joseph Stalin, representing the USSR, is dead, and Napoleon VI is dead, and he's from France. Leon Trotsky starts a fire, and Charles de Gaulle passes out from exhaustion. Be it nightmares or passing out from exhaustion, de Gaulle just does not do well at night times, apparently. He's just not doing well in this games when it comes to the dark parts of the day. Day 3, Charles de Gaulle explores the arena. Tatsu Katayama spears Douglas MacArthur in the abdomen. If you remember from earlier, Katayama also killed Adolf Hitler with a sickle, so now he's going after Douglas MacArthur. Konrad Adenauer forces Wilhelm Pieck to kill Leon Trotsky, or Ferruccio Parri he refuses to kill, so Konrad Adenauer kills him instead. The German Democratic leader killed the German communist, basically. Victor Emmanuel III receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Hirohito searches for a water source. Winston Churchill questions his sanity. I mean, he did kill Napoleon VI and Joseph Stalin, but it's whatever. Edward VIII constructs a shack. Wilhelm II chases Wallace I, and that's going to be all for, I believe this is day 3. More fallen tributes. Konstantin Rodopsky, Jacques Darrow, Kaiuchi Takoda, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Joseph Stalin, Napoleon VI, Douglas MacArthur, and Wilhelm Pieck are dead. So there's only 11 players left now, and I think all the fascists are dead, all the communists are nearly dead. I believe, I could be wrong, Leon Trotsky is the only communist remaining alive in the Hunger Games. Statistically speaking, it seems like there's a high chance a monarch or a Republican leader will win it all. Night 3, Winston Churchill, Wilhelm II, Edward VIII, and Victor Emmanuel III tell each other ghost stories to lighten the mood. Ferruccio Parri and Wallace I hold hands. Leon Trotsky quietly hums. Hirohito, Charles de Gaulle, and Konrad Adenauer discuss the games and what might happen in the morning, and Tatsu Katayama tries to sing himself to sleep. Day 4, Ferruccio Parri forces Charles de Gaulle to kill Edward VIII or Konrad Adenauer. He decides to kill Konrad. Leon Trotsky and Winston Churchill split up to search for resources. Tatsu Katayama hunts for other tributes. He's really a maniac in this Hunger Games, isn't he? Wilhelm II searches for firewood. Hirohito thinks about home, and Wallace I runs away from Victor Emmanuel III. No point looking at the fallen tributes list since only one person died, but anyway, 10 participants remain. Night 4, Victor Emmanuel III thinks about home. Ferruccio Parri sees a fire but stays hidden. Wilhelm II receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Maybe he's going to cut some wood or something. Charles de Gaulle goes to sleep. Winston Churchill and Tatsu Katayama huddle for warmth. Leon Trotsky and Hirohito run into each other and decide the truce for the night. And what else? Edward VIII sets up camp for the night. And finally, Wallace I sees a fire but stays hidden. Overall, Night 4 is relatively boring. Day 5. Tatsu Katayama injures himself. Wilhelm II overhears Wallace I and Charles de Gaulle talking in the distance. Winston Churchill stalks Victor Emmanuel III, and Edward VIII, Leon Trotsky, Ferruccio Parri, and Hirohito hunt for other tributes. Night 5. Wilhelm II tries to sing himself to sleep. Tatsu Katayama and Winston Churchill sleep in shifts. Ferruccio Parri tries to treat his infection. Edward VIII fins Hirohito, Victor Emmanuel III, and Leon Trotsky away from his fire. And Charles de Gaulle and Wallace I sleep in shifts. Day 6. Victor Emmanuel III makes a slingshot. Edward VIII dies of dysentery. That's a terrible way to go for the British king. Tatsu Katayama makes a slingshot. Charles de Gaulle tries to spear fish with a trident. Winston Churchill sprains his ankle while running away from Wilhelm II. Leon Trotsky travels to higher ground. Hirohito steals from Ferruccio Parri while he isn't looking, and Wallace I searches for a water source. 9 people are left, but not for long, because an arena event has occurred. A volcano erupts at the center of the arena. Tatsu Katayama is buried in ash. Winston Churchill dips his weapon in lava and kills Wallace I with it. Hirohito is buried in ash. Wilhelm II survives, Leon Trotsky survives, Ferruccio Parri survives, and Victor Emmanuel III dips his weapon in lava and kills Charles de Gaulle with it. Fallen tributes 6. We have 5 dead, and they are Edward VIII, Tatsu Katayama, Wallace I, Hirohito, and Charles de Gaulle. 5 participants remain. Night 6. Ferruccio Parri tries to treat his infection. Winston Churchill and Wilhelm II hold hands. Okay. Victor Emmanuel III thinks about home. He's done that twice now. And Leon Trotsky dies from hypothermia. This means, with the death of Trotsky, all the communists are out of the game. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes' families. Wilhelm II decides not to go to the feast. Winston Churchill throws a knife into Ferruccio Parri's chest. Democracy is not united, and with Parri's death, Churchill is the last Republican left standing in the Hunger Games. And besides that, Victor Emmanuel III decides not to go to the feast. Day 7. Wilhelm II thinks about home. Victor Emmanuel III tries to sleep through the entire day, and Winston Churchill fishes. Night 7. Victor Emmanuel III passes out from exhaustion. Wilhelm II destroys Winston Churchill's supplies while he is asleep. I guess them holding hands meant nothing because only one can win. Day 8. Winston Churchill dies from hunger. I guess he needed those supplies. And Wilhelm II silently snaps Victor Emmanuel III's neck. It's all over. Wilhelm II, the German Kaiser, has won the Hearts of Iron 4 Hunger Games. This is a certified Heldium Siegerkranz moment. I am sure the German Empire fans out there are going crazy right now. Tell me if I should make a sequel to this. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.